Alright, this one. This one, really like. This was probably the best one that. This was probably my favorite one that I watched last year. I remember a few years ago I saw the preview for it when it was in the theater. It had to have been about 3 years before this came out on DVD. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I'd never heard anything about it. I'm like, and I forgot about it. And somebody I was working with last year said, oh, did you see the movie Trick or Treat's coming out on DVD? I was like, what's that? And I watched the preview for it, and I was like, wait a minute, that looks familiar. I was like, I remember watching the preview for that years ago, and I wanted to see it then, and I was like, what the hell happened? So I guess it got pushed back for like 3 years. It finally came out on DVD last year, and I bought it right away. And I actually, like, it's an okay movie. It's not bad. This was another one that does like short stories. I think there's 4 or 5 short stories, and this too. So that's a good thing that I like. So that did that, and then it had like this guy was like the main thing. But he was I think he was in every one of them actually. He was like something in every one, and then he's like the spirit of Halloween or whatever. And I actually really like this, and this is I don't know. I'd say it's the best one I watched last year. And this is definitely like put you in a Halloween mood. Because some horror movies are horror or whatever, but they don't really put you in like a Halloween mood like the Halloween movies themselves, or like, I don't know, whatever. Like the Halloween movies put me in a Halloween mood, definitely, because there's some of the best Halloween type movies. Some other movies, other ones are good, but they might not put you in sort of a Halloween mood. But this definitely puts you in a Halloween mood because of, people were trick-or-treating and people get killed and everything. So this is a real good one. I watched this last year. Then I watched 20 Days Later because I actually never seen it, and everybody was like, that's my favorite zombie movie. I was like, really? Is it that good? And I knew I had heard about it, and I knew, I heard people say it was a good zombie movie, but so somebody I worked with was like, that's my favorite zombie movie. You gotta see it. So I'm like, alright, well, I'll buy it because I think it was at Walmart for like $7 or whatever. So I bought it, and it is a good zombie movie. And I actually wanted the second one, but they didn't have it because I wanted to watch them both, but they didn't have the second one, of course. And then they had it later, and I never ended up getting it. So I don't know if the second one's good or not, but this one is good. So I watched that. Then this one was cheap, and I always like snow stuff. I don't know why, but because there's 3 movies I wanted to watch last year that had to do with snow. The Thaw was one, but didn't really have much snow in it. This was another one. This was this was Alaska. So I think The Thaw took place in Antarctica. This took place in Alaska, but it had a lot of snow. And it's Ron Perlman, the guy that he's in Hellboy and whatever, a bunch of other movies, but that's where I think probably a lot of people know him from. Hellboy. He's Hellboy. So I'm like, okay, and it was cheap, so I'm like, okay, this movie's pretty bad. I'd say it's pretty not good at all. It's pretty horrible, but I got it anyway. But I mean, I had no idea if it was good or not, and it was cheap, so I was like, fuck it, I'll get it. So, but it's not. I wouldn't recommend watching it. It's not that good at all. Scariest movie of the year, it says. Yeah, right. They could put anything on there, you know what I mean? So, but this movie's not good. Not so good. And the third one that had to do with snow was Whiteout, which was already in theater, and I kept waiting and waiting for it to come out. It never came out by Halloween. I ended up finally getting it, but it was probably a few months after Halloween. I wanted to watch all 3 of these, so I did watch the Thaw of this, but not Whiteout. And then I finally saw Whiteout, because I think Whiteout came out at the same time Pandorum came out. Because I remember, because Pandorum was another movie I really wanted to see. I couldn't wait to come out on DVD, because I didn't see them in theaters. I don't really go to theater that much. I just usually buy all my movies. So I ended up seeing Whiteout, but not for a few months after Halloween, I think. But that was not so good. Let's see, what else? I watched Orphan, but that wasn't. I don't think I watched that for Halloween. I don't know. Orphan and Uninvited. They were both good. I liked them both, but I don't think I watched them for Halloween. They were probably after. I watched this last year for Halloween. Both Addams Family movies. The kids are kind of cool. So and I bought this, both of them one thing. So I watched both of them, the first and the second one. And Rod Julia, I mean, he's awesome in any movie. Like, he's really underrated actor, but he's so cool in this. I mean, dances around and everything. So Christopher Lloyd, Christina Ricci. So I watched both of them, and then I think that's all. I mean, that's all that I can remember that I watched last year. I probably watched more, but that's all I can remember. And then the year before last year, 2 years ago, this is what I watched. I remember exactly what I watched. Well, I may have watched more than these, but I don't remember. But I know I watched these. I remember these for sure because they're all in a series, and they're easy to remember. 2 years ago, I watched all the Halloween movies. So, and before that, I think I'd only seen maybe the first. I think before that, I'd only seen the first one, and Halloween H2O and Halloween Resurrection, I think, is the only ones I've seen before that. So, so I ended up buying them all and watching them all in a row. So, the original John Carpenter Halloween, the best one, obviously, of the series, until Rob Zombie came along, which is another. But I don't know. I still think of them both. Like, this one's the original, and this one has more, like, a lot of suspense and everything, but Rob Zombie just goes deeper into the story. So they're both really kind of different. They're both great. So the best two of the series will be the original and Rob Zombie's remake of the original. So, and then Halloween 2, which isn't quite as good, but it's okay. They're in the hospital. Halloween 3, which doesn't have... See, and the thing is, I watch YouTube videos, and people who have the Halloween collection don't have Halloween 3. I'm like, what the fuck? If you know what I mean? You'll never have the whole collection if you don't have Halloween 3. I mean, I know Michael Myers isn't in it, but if you don't have it, you'll never have the whole collection. So even if you don't like it, which I think it's not bad, I know it doesn't have Michael Myers, but obviously the filmmakers realized they made a mistake after they made this, because up until this point, John Carpenter did, he directed the first one. I think he produced 2 and 3, and he did the music for 1, 2, and 3. And then after this one, he left. Or, I don't know the whole story, but I know he's not on any of the other ones, so it seems he had left. So maybe it looks like they realized they made a mistake not putting Michael Myers in the movie, a mistake they would never make again. But this one, for not having Michael Myers, is still not bad. But even if you don't like this one and you want the whole collection, you have to buy it, because if you have every Michael Myers, or if you have every Halloween movie but this, you don't have the whole collection. So no matter what, you have to buy this. You know what I mean? If you show me your collection and you don't have this, then you don't have the whole collection. So that's how I feel. If you don't have this, there's no point. I mean, you gotta have the whole collection. Then obviously 4, which has Danielle Harris. Oh wait, yeah, this one has Danielle Harris as a kid. And 5 has Danielle Harris as a kid too. There she is on the front. So Halloween 5. Then I remember this one is the hardest one I had to was able to find. Like, I couldn't find this for the longest time. And this one actually has Paul Rudd in it. Paul Rudd, who he wasn't big back then, but he's become a big like, he's in mostly comedy movies now and stuff. He's funny. And this one, I don't know. I think he might have said some wisecracks in this one. I don't know, made some jokes or whatever, but I don't remember, because it was a few years ago when I watched it. But this one I had trouble finding. I could not find it. And I remember watching a preview for this one I thought it looked so awesome. Like, I was like, man, this is probably the best one, because the preview made it look like it was the best one. Watching it, it wasn't anywhere near as good as the preview. It was still okay, but it's definitely not the best one. Not even close to the best one, because Halloween, the original, was the best, and H2O is even pretty good, better than this one. This one may be better than Halloween Resurrection, which has Busta Rhymes, but that one was pretty bad. And better than Halloween 2. This one's definitely better than Halloween 2, because that one was pretty bad. But it's not as good as the preview made it look. But I remember the preview making it look really good. Plus, it also has the best, well, besides the first. You know, the first is just a classic, but besides the first, it has the best cover. I really like this cover. It's kind of like the shirt I have, actually. In fact, I think it's the same as the shirt I have on, which is Rob Zombie's Halloween. This shirt came out when Rob Zombie's Halloween, but it's the same cover with a knife and everything, but it doesn't have that girl on it. The knife is just a plain knife. But so, I mean, I do like this one, but it wasn't as good as the preview made it look. But still okay. The next Halloween H2O was one of the better ones. Probably the second best in this series of 8. These 8. Yeah, this would be the second best after the first one, because Jamie Lee Curtis is back, Josh Hartnett, even Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in it. Who's the girl? Oh, of course, Janet Leigh. Oh, Michelle Williams? Wow, I didn't know that was her. Because she didn't become big till like Ben Affleck's movie. Well, I didn't know who she was until Ben Affleck's movie. Gone Baby Gone. But Janet Leigh, of course, is in this, Psycho, and she's also Jamie Lee Curtis's mom. And this one's written pretty good, so this would be the second best out of these 8. And then Halloween Resurrection had Busta Rhymes, and Jamie Lee Curtis is in the very beginning. She gets killed, so if you see her on the cover, she's only in it like maybe 5 minutes. And this one's pretty bad. They do like a reality show, and Michael Myers shows up, and whatever. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's actually probably the worst one out of all of them, because 4 and 5 aren't too bad. Halloween 3, like I said, is not bad for not having Michael Myers. Halloween 2 is pretty bad, and Halloween is a classic. So I'd say the worst 2 are Halloween 2 and Halloween Resurrection. The rest are actually decent. Actually I watched all those 8. And then Halloween 3 years ago in theaters was Rob Zombie's Halloween. Right there. So I saw that in theaters, and then I got it when it first came out on DVD. Got it right away. But I saw it in theaters. Actually, I saw it twice in theater because I saw it twice in theater because I was buying all these movies. And when I bought Halloween 4, I was buying all these movies. And when I got Halloween 4 and Halloween 5, they had a free movie ticket to see Rob Zombie's Halloween in a theater. So I bought both of them because I needed them for my collection, and got 2 free movie tickets. So I ended up seeing Rob Zombie's Halloween twice in the theater. That Halloween. So I actually saw that